All right, so look, regardless of all that, we see a double bottom here on the weekly pivot. This was a very nice little W that worked here on the ES off of weekly pivot, off of an inflection point. Look where it's finding some resistance here. So the short, I mean, this was just textbook today. Absolutely textbook. But you had to be patient. You couldn't just jump on it. You had to absolutely be patient. We're going to get into some trades in just a second here, you guys. So this is really the entry right here at 7:16, 10:16 in the morning. This is the cleanest entry here from a lower low, right? Comes back inside of this, obviously underneath VWAP, but really that was your better entry in my opinion. Because if you entered too quick right here, you got ran over and then you might have second guessed it. But let's jump in. Let's see what we got here, you guys. So 25,000 was just defended pretty good. We don't, and this is yesterday's low right here. Market's a little angry today. Definitely a little angry here. So what I would say is we've got, we got a really aggressive short. This is the low of the day. So we got to be careful here. 18 and 26. I mean, if we can get a test of 18, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. If we can get a test of 18 from below right here, I'll short it. And we want to see rejection. We want to absolutely see rejection here. I think that, this is definitely the big test of the dip buy as we head into the latter part of the year. But look, we're heading into earnings season. Are we really just going to fall out of bed and come in 10%? I think potentially off of some earnings that could happen, but they're shaking the trees today. They're shaking the trees. So my pre-market playbook, we were looking for a catalyst. And, maybe we got it with the Fed heads. I don't know. I'm going to short 18 right here from below. This will give us some clues if they really want to kind of move this thing back down to the low of the day. So the target on this is going to be back to the 88. So we're going to look for an 88 target here, this right here. But I'll tell you this, so the dip buyers, they stood up right here. Whoops, let me just go take all these levels away. You got big. So you had kind of a little wonky W on both of these. You had really clean W on ES. And we caught a really nice trade in this, but they fell right back down into it. So going to be interesting. A true conversion of 25,000, meaning a true conversion of 25,000 to support. And again, this is where the market opened this week. A true conversion heads back to 106 today. Underneath it, we get our weekly pivot and we potentially get a 912 down here. Let's see. Come on, man. Fill us. We're going to take a stab here. Let's see what happens. All right. Well, that was a weird fill, but we'll take it. There's a +5. All right. We're in it. We're in it to win it. Now we can use 98. We've got a lot of tests down here. Let's use that 88 as an exit. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can get an 88.5 out of this. They need to get back below 12 quickly. Yeah. So much. This tape, you guys, this tape is so full of FOMO. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. I'm going to try short one more time here at 26. Just because it's a single bar straight up, and we should get some retracement out of that. Now, we do have a solid test of it here already. We'll see if the Bulls or the Bears have anything here. Let's see if anyone's scared. That's a 26 and it didn't fill me. So that's a shame. All right, I'm a no fill. If you're in it, you have risk out. I'm going to cancel my entry right now. So there's just too many tests here. It didn't fill me. So if you're in, uh, you should get a 12 here minimum. So if you guys get stopped out at 26, we have potential move to 33. I'll short it back through if we can. ES is just not, it's not giving it up yet. ES is not giving it up yet. So they're trying to save that 50 again on the ES. Man, I hate chasing this stuff. What happened, Daniel? You were on the wrong side this morning? Let's try this. So the secondary entry is 18 here. I'm going to let it bounce off this 18 a little bit here. All right, I'm going to short 18 if this 22 holds. Hmm. Meta, I would hold out for 88, but that's just me. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for the 88 down here. Yeah. There's just so much FOMO here. Yeah. So now I'm in trouble. Now I'm in trouble. What am I doing? Betting on Bears. Oy vey. I'm going to try to take a -3 here if I can. Might run me over. We need the ES to kind of roll over here. All right. So I'm out for a -3. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. We're basically flat on the session. I'd risk out of the other trade. And I just gave back 3 of them. Well, 6 of them. Awesome. Awesome, Rocky. Fantastic. Yeah, man. All right. But I'm going to short 36. So we're going to try one more short here. If we close above this 33, it looks like I just missed it. But if we close above this 33, um, it sets all this back up again. But this little zone here is pretty choppy. All right, so let's see. We want this bar to close below 33. Womp womp. All right. It looks like the shorts are getting squeezed. This bar's got a full minute left. If 42 holds, we come back to 33. These V's are vicious, though. All right. This ain't working. So we'll just have to wait here. See, we might get punked out. So I've got an escape hatch here. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna let me out. Doesn't look like it. $26 was the better entry. To at least try the short. But damn, we just booked a bunch of handles in the mastermind. So I'm trying to get out at 40 here for -4. All right. Well, we escaped a bigger stop. Let's just wait a second here. This is crapola here. 46 was the better entry. Now this does set up our 26 long. I mean, maybe we're just going to go run back up to the highs, or the most recent highs, I should say. Look how nasty this is right here. Hmm. Yeah, thanks, Ned, for the escape hatch there. Let's look at something here. All right, let's just be patient. Let's just wait a second here. So the ES is testing the 60 from below. We are wrong on the short. Like big picture, we're wrong if it gets back above 62. I think it still has potential to fall back. We got lower high right here. I'm going to short 36 one more time here. One more time. We're coming from 50, so we want this to close below the 33 here. We want the 42 to hold it in. Get down. It's kind of a flag, so I mean it needs to work quickly. It's just kind of a really choppy mess here. So look, if you're following this, I hope you're on micros. I hope you're not risking a bunch. We're absolutely playing in traffic. We are running out on the 95, looking for $5 bills right now. We got one of them. We got a $5 bill right out of that one. All right. So, I mean, we're in it to win it. Let's just see if we can't get a really nice trade out of this. Let's see how if this thing can go back to the roundy here. Now, this is where 26, right? 26 is going to test 33. We need 33 to shut it down. Right? So 26 should test 33. And so what we want is this. Bing, bong, bing, bong. That's what we want. All right. So now we need a close below 26. Get a close below 26. It brings the 12 back into play here. That was a fake out. That's not a V, obviously, right? Now look, if you were in this with me and you want to repair it, your repair is right here at 16. I'm going to hold out to see if we can't fall back into this zone right here. We need a bing bong to the downside. James, dude, you're finally getting your pullback. Are you stoked? Are you in it? You've been talking about it for weeks. Finally got some cracks in the veneer here. All right, I'm out. They took me out of the trade. So all I got was a +5 there. All right, let's see. Every day, man, you've been throwing tomatoes at this market. All right, I'm gonna buy 36. Let's see if we can hitch a ride with the last part of the golden setup here. You guys have your +7. I'm gonna try to get on the back side of that. Oh, so there are clues with that last trade. 26 was clearly the better entry, the long. The dip buyers are just all over this thing. They're not going anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if the ES closes back above 68 today. That's their weekly open. So let's see if they'll let us in at 36. You guys still have your 26s? Oh, you guys are out. I mean, it's ridiculous, James, but you're not going to change it, right? It is what it is. Just be the ball. Just go with it. There's so much opportunity cost by sitting around and looking at it and saying, man, this sucks. I agree with you 100%. It's relentless. It is relentless. This thing is so choppy. Let's let it come back to 33 one more time. It's like a little triangle here. Let's let it test 33. I'm going to buy 36 again. But let's let it do that. We don't really have much opportunity here. I'll be honest with you. It's just super choppy. Now, again, if they get back above 62, bulls can't leave it there. They got to come over the top of this. They need to close this thing back above 25,106. So a true conversion of 25,000 gets us back to 106 right here. Are we converting this? There's a lot of tests here, right? We got this working for us here. I don't know how, but I'm up 3 points. A lot of tests of this 46, but I don't feel like buying it from below. So we'd love another 36 here if we could get it. Let's see if we make a higher high versus this stuff here. It's potentially breaking out right now. ES is kind of winking at us here. If you look over here, but they've still got a lot of work to do. This zone here, look at this thing. All right, let's see if we can get a 36. We'll try that one more time. Let's put our order in. Oh boy. Now what we want is, let me put these levels back on for us. What we want is rejection right away. So if this can come back here, we don't want to see any lower lows here. These are good looking wicks off of the 33. Herb, is that for me? Was that comment for me? Just following my plan. I'm not doing anything that I haven't done every single day. So I think that's what makes a market, right? So again, based on, so should I just stop talking then? I don't understand. I mean, I'm just doing my thing, Herb. So sorry if you're not digging it. From the roundy, we have a bar close above 12. We got a 33. From the 12, we have a bar close above 33. We've got a 50. We are just dancing on the 33 here. So if the 33 holds, we get another 50. We look left. If that happens, we have potential to break out. So let's see. I'm willing to take the risk. It's a setup. Let's see if 33 can hold. So we want 33 to hold. We would like to see it push back towards the 42. And I think if that happens, we're going to get another 50 test here. All right, so we'll see. 33's got to hold for us, though. That's dicey. Dicey. Now, the definition of it holding is a bar close above it, right? Definition of it holding is a bar close above it. That's a little bit of a lower low. So we'll wait a second here. We're not dead in the water yet. Now we're getting there. Yeah. Now it's gone against us. Now we need an exit. So the exit for us is going to actually be the 33 here. 32.75 to be exact. And we will take a small loss there if we can get it. And then we'll just have to kind of tuck in here a little bit because the market is choppy. It's just really choppy. So it still has potential to close above 33, which is wild. I'm going one more time here. I'm going to see if they're just shaking the trees and see if we can't get going here. It feels like a bid is coming back into the tape. And sometimes it takes going again. So you see that's a big wick, but they close above the 33. So we'll see. And again, like I said, we're absolutely 100% unequivocally playing in traffic here. This is 2 p.m. action, and this will typically set the tone for the close. Looks like another going against us here. They got to close above 33, though. They could push towards the lows at the close here. I came in a bear. They just made me flip. Let's see. I feel like we need to take advantage of the volatility rather than sit here and go over slides, but I am down to do whatever you guys want. If they keep closing above 33, I'm staying in. It's kind of a little wonky flag here. I just need a higher high. My goodness. We have a higher low. Honestly, you guys, look, this is going to go either way. So I'm just going to stay in it. I'm in it. They keep holding our risk marker for what it's worth. Maybe we're just glomming to the 33 and we're done. I don't know. But I'm hanging out. Just need this thing to release. If we get a 42, it's gone. It's going to pay us. It's just taking its time. That's why I stayed in, Rocky. Just need to pound that real quick here. It felt like a bid was coming back into the tape. So far, so good. I'm going to try to get a +7 here for risk out. I think if we keep testing this 42, it's going to break. All right, so we have +7 on risk out. We're looking for this to come over the top of this right here. Okay, so I want to see, I would like to see a 62 up here. So we're gonna hold out. We're in the trade. There's no reason to manage it beyond that. What needs to happen for us is we need a bar close, a 2-minute candle to close above this right here. Now it might come stop us out. And at that point, we probably need to just put it up and start looking at the tape, looking for other things to kind of talk about, because this is no bueno, you guys. This is just not even, this is crap. All right. So I am positive 4.5 handles on the session, and I feel like we've gotten away with something. So let's look at the tape today and let's talk about a few things. How about that? All right. Rather than try to figure out where this thing wants to go. So we're going to start with the ES because the ES led this entire move. If you look at the open, the NQ was not giving it up at all. So this is the open. This is, and look how nasty that is. We didn't take a trade in this thing for quite a while. And then when I finally did, I did get caught on my first trade of the day. I repaired it quickly, but I got caught nonetheless. This is the opening range. So let's get rid of all the levels and let's get a nice clean chart here. It's still just jammed around that 39, isn't it? Or 36 rather. So this is our chart, right? This is the opening range, 5-minute opening range. We have a bar close above that opening range and it slid back in here. So as far as I know, right here, we're doing range day activity, right? So the first short for us on the ES was shorting the 97, which is right here. Why would I short the 97? Because that's the cash level. That's where the market opened. So above it, we reach for the roundy, for the 6,800, for the 6800, the big round number. So from the cash level, that was a scalp, right? But it quickly came back. And so this wick in this bar right here, that was a short. But notice how it only came to the bottom of the range. So this kind of was carving out a range day. And then boom, right there. Big lower low outside of the opening range and outside of the initial balance, right at 7 o'clock or 10 o'clock Eastern. We don't have that here, you guys. We do not have that here. So we had some massive divergence working here, right? We had ES diving, all telegraphed by the AD, by the way. So throughout this entire process, this in the morning, even this divergence right here, the AD continued to make new lows the entire time. What does that tell us? That tells us that there is broad-based selling in the S&P 500. Basically short pops. This was right around some econ stuff, or top of the hour, that is. So I missed this. This was a reload, but this was the better entry right here. This was the better entry because a lot of traders, and I get it if you did it, would have shorted this right here. And so this would have been a 93 short, like a 93 or 92 half. And may or may not given you an even stop. It may have run you over. It might have scared you. So when we see this type of activity, and I'm speaking for myself, this kind of spooks you a little, like, ah, man, it's back inside the range. But what you don't want to do, number one, if you took a loss on a short from here to here, you don't want to start flipping long. This is telling you not to do that. This is telling you not to do that. Does everybody understand that? Is this worth doing? So my point is you have to wait for a clean close back below the opening range. Clean close back below it. The only reason, this is purely hindsight. I'm going back and looking at it. So, that is, it is what it is. But this is giving you clues as to why this worked so well. The lower low, the big engulfing candle here on a 2-minute candle, the lower low, the subsequent lower low from there. And that's it. From there, it was all about your levels. This was the next reload, which is in 88. And that's really all that you could, that's really the only other place that you could really reload and look for. That's the potential target right there. That is the weekly open, which is 68. This is yesterday's low, which is 66. Had you captured any portion of that, your day done. And now here we are doing absolutely nothing. So this was full on opening range, big divergence between the NQ and the ES. But I believe that the ES drove the entire move. So paying attention to this is what led you to maybe stay away from some of the longs over here. ES always leads, well, I shouldn't say always, typically will lead the entire market, right? Everyone's heard that old saying that the S&P 500 is a barometer for the US economy. No truer words have been spoken. It's the same in this market. If this thing is doing this, along with your advanced decline falling out of bed, that's the writing on the wall. Better trade over here than over here. 100% better. Much, much better. This, all you had to do was sell one of these, get risk out, and go make a cup of coffee, get away from the screen, honestly. And then, of course, here comes NQ, comes right with it. And what's interesting and what you need to know about both of these is the ratio of bar for bar. So let's look at this bar right here, 734. This is a 7.5 handle, 7.5 point bar on the ES, right? That same bar over here is 30. So about 4 to 1. But then this bar here, so let's look at that, 804. This bar also 7.25, but now this one's 50 handles. So this started to get and accelerate in the direction of where the ES was heading. And that's all she wrote. That's how we got to the 25,000. Right? And we don't have anything here. There's nothing here at all. So what do we do from here? This is pretty standard setup, a pretty standard setup, I should say. Do you blind buy the weekly pivot? You can. Would this have been a target for your short? I think that the weekly open, and then this 50 would absolutely have been targets for shorts because they become magnets. If you do not get a V, a pretty big move off of the weekly open, and it flips resistance like this, There's a darn good chance we're going to 62. You got to close below it. That opens up that 50. So I think covering anywhere in the here would have just been a solid day. And then there's no reason to do anything else. Nothing else with this. But this is a very good example as to price gravitating to levels, meaning weekly pivot, as well as an inflection point and giving a reaction. This is what stopped the sell-off so far. So now bears need to close below this stuff today. Right? That's your 67.50, Daniel, that you were looking for yesterday. Right? And right now, I would venture to say that, and what leads to a bigger move to the downside, I would venture to say that right now, dip buyers are being denied, meaning they get going and it quickly comes back on them. And I am not talking about dip buyers like me. I'm talking about dip buyers in terms of stocks. Dip buyers are legging in. That's what's giving us these reflexive bounces. Futures buyers, same thing. They're not really getting much traction, but a lot of the traders that I know are not buying this down here for anything more than a scalp because it's still a very distinctive lower high. Like if we go to a 5-minute chart, this is going to resolve out of here. And based on this overall chart, the resolution appears to be maybe a new low down here at 67.33. So we'll see. But we don't really have anything to do here now, unfortunately. I feel like we've gotten away with something here. We had a really solid session in the mastermind. We're in a mastermind now. Let's talk about this trade here. We had some good trades and some bad trades, but we had a really nice trade in the mastermind today. We are in the latter part of my mastermind. My mastermind is 18 weeks. The last 6 weeks of the mastermind, we do a live market. So we trade together as a group in the market. And this is kind of what we were doing right here. So we were long 36 here. We were long through here. But this was a trade that we took a long 36 right here based on the same trade that we were doing earlier, just based on the 33 holding. And we were kind of playing this W here in the market. And what I mean by that is this, you have kind of these matching lows. And so when you come over the top of this thing, it tends to run away. It obviously ran into problems, but this was a solid trade that we took from the 36 and we exited here at the 76. So that was a really nice trade. And we're still just kind of, it's make or break for the bears here below yesterday's low. All of that's being defended so far. So on our daily chart, what is this going to look like? It looks like nothing on the daily chart. Right? It feels super heavy. It feels like it's just going to fall out of bed. It feels like it's just going to fall out of bed. But when we look at it from this lens, we have barely breached yesterday's low. If we look at it on a weekly chart, I mean, we still have the bears, it still has a lot of work here. A lot of work. And honestly, look, I don't know about the dip buyers. I think if there are, quote unquote, people buying the dip, we're not even down 1%. We're down like 0.5% here. So the AM trade was much, much, much cleaner, much better for sure. All right. Any questions for me, you guys? Have a good one, Maida. Be good. Zero DTE. I did not do one because of the way we were setting up this morning. But SPX did a really nice gap fill. So tough for me to catch all these things. It really is. I'm just not, can't catch them all. That's for sure. And unfortunately, I don't teach zero DTE in a chat room, or it's not my main focus. So, but it was a very nice gap fill for what it's worth. So I'm sure the 6750 put right here worked extremely well. Filled the gap and probably ripped all the way back down to 6,700. Talk about a big pause here, you guys. And right on one of our main levels too. So that should tell you why I focus on this. See, when I was developing the strategy and when I was mapping out the NQ, this is the stuff that I saw. Even, 12, 13 years ago, same stuff, 33, 26, 33. Just price just sticking to it, becomes a magnet, right? Comes down to it, stalls. Overshoots it, comes right back to it. That kind of thing. Why? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. All I know is I am an observer of price, and that's what I saw. So I started with that. 33 was the very first level I started with. 33 was the very first level I started with. And so I was a big reverse engineer, if you will, in this thing. I kept seeing it, like moves like this, and then asking myself, how did we get there? And then just working backwards from there. See you, Todd. Yeah, could be something late day here. On our 15-minute chart on Fibonacci's, I mean, once we had this big move down, we really haven't done anything. So we have not broken out. We've not done anything for, going on 3 hours now. It's just a big old fat triangle here. Same thing on the NQ. On just a little bit on the lower side. Can't break this hourly. Sorry, is this the hourly mid band, or is this yeah. So this is the 60-minute chart. That's the that's on a 15-minute. Sorry. So that even shouldn't even be there, actually. So let me hide that. That is not where the hourly mid is. Let me change that. Puts a little perspective into it, right? 25,000 is it's a big round level. It's a big deal. And I think that for the next leg in this chart, it's all centered around this right here. And so below it, and Sylvia pointed this out to me earlier, we do have a bar close below it here. Let's get rid of that. We do have a solid close below the 25,000. Now, this was last week, right? This is where it opened this week. But this is last week. So that means we have some unfinished business right here on this 912. And so if this 106 can hold, that puts that on the table. Meta's down 6, Tesla's down 13, so that's probably a big driver there. Netflix is up 28 bucks. Gold over 4,000. Yowza. We'll see if that starts to accelerate over 4,000. And I agree, Joe. 330 could bring in another surge in price here. But it's just, it's a coin flip now. We gave it a good shot here, you guys. We stayed in a trade for a lot longer than we probably should. There was a couple good examples of escape hatches, things that it's definitely one of the things that is proprietary to me. Again, what frames out a need for an escape is when a trade goes against us by 10 points. That means the probability for me has diminished greatly and I want out. I may re-enter the same trade as price improves, same level, like we did there. But if it goes against us 10 and we have a 15-point stop, any reflexive bounce back up to let us out for a very small loss is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if they close the ES over 68 today. I would not be shocked at that. Nice. That 26.25 let you keep it, Mike. Good for you. So Mike was in a golden setup here from the 50. He was long 26. He got a +7. This almost stopped him out. This is a 26.25, and now he just exited here at the 50. So great job. I'm just kind of hanging out, you guys. We got about 5 minutes, and Corey's going to come in and take over. So if you have any questions for me, fire away. Otherwise, I will hand you guys over to Corey to take you guys into the close. This thing's kind of gone to sleep now. And look, when you have an NQ look like this, don't overdo it. We probably overdid it here. I said we were playing in traffic. I feel compelled to trade in front of you guys, but we probably overdid it a little bit here. Same thing here. There's nothing here. It needs to make a higher high or a lower low. And if you missed this, which was the better trade today, hopefully my input there on that around the opening range helped you see that for the next day, because we see the same thing over and over again, whether it's the lows like this or the highs. Same stuff over and over and over again, especially in the NQ. The NQ is habitual. ES is a little different because you got bigger players and a lot more participants in this. For instance, the volume so far today in the, I don't have that study. Where did that study go? So volume today in the NQ is 470,000 contracts, and the ES is 1.1. So you're talking almost 3 times the volume in the ES. And the participants are a much different type of set of traders. You've got really big traders trading the ES, most of which simply don't trade with stops. They just don't. So like when you go to time and sales on the ES here, you'll see, well, here there's not a lot of volume running through here, but typically you'll see a lot of double digits. You can probably see even like a 30 or a 50. You can see some big size in there. Whereas in the NQ, it's very rare. These are all ones, all one lots. And notice, like this could be a 10 lot trade. And this person is getting filled between 45 and 46 half, maybe even higher. This is why I like the NQ though. It's more mechanical. It adheres to math a lot more than this. So anyway, I'm going to give you over to Corey a little bit early here. Corey, are you ready, sir?
Ready, Tony?
All right. I'm going to hand you guys over to Corey. Everyone have a fantastic rest of their day. I will catch you guys later.
Thank you, Tony. We'll give about a minute to transition over. We're going to be talking about the expected move, which is our day done, but